Hi, this is Ambika, Assistant Professor, Department of AML. We are going to discuss about requirements engineering under the elicitation, specification and ethics. Let us go for the small recap. So the poor coding may be the main reason for the software failure. So most failures they occur due to the poor requirements also. Requirements engineering. So requirements engineering is nothing but a process of discovering, documenting, validating, and also managing the requirements. So the main goal is to build the right system. So this requirement engineering process includes the feasibility study, requirements solicitation, requirements specification, requirements verification and validation, as well as requirements management. Inception or feasibility study. So it includes the initial assessment and we can determine whether the project is viable, it is justified and also we can achieve it technically or not. Next comes the elicitation, which is nothing but gathering. Here we are going to discover the needs through the interview, survey, workshops with the stakeholders. Next is analysis and modeling. Here we are going to understand, classify, structure and model the requirements, and we can also identify the conflicts and define the high level goals and constraints. Next is specification, that is nothing but documentation. Here we are going to formally document the requirements using software requirement specification, that is SRS document. Next is validation and verification. Here the checking the requirements will be done for completeness, consistency as well as accuracy with the stakeholders. Next the management. We are going to handle the changes, track the requirements and also ensure the traceability throughout the development of our software. Requirement types. So types of requirements includes functional requirements, non-functional requirements and domain requirements. So the functional requirements means it defines what the system should do. Next, non-functional requirements, it defines how the system should perform. Requirements elicitation. So elicitation is nothing but it is a process of gathering the requirements from the stakeholders. So it mainly focuses on the needs, expectation and constraints of the stakeholders. So if we can also enhance the requirement elicitation by getting the documentation from early stakeholder engagement. We can document everything and we can also prioritize the requirements and we can combine the multiple techniques and also it can be done by validating it regularly. Recommend elicitation techniques. So the common techniques of recommend elicitation includes like interviews, questionnaires, observation, workshops as well as the prototyping. Interviews. So the interviews it can be done with the stakeholders to ask the targeted questions. Next comes the workshops. So these workshops it can be done, it can be facilitated and collaborative meetings can be done with the key stakeholders to define the requirements together. Next is brainstorming. So the open sessions can be conducted in order to get the innovative ideas or solutions from the diverse group. Next, the prototyping. So it is done by creating some visual models to demonstrate the features as well as to get some feedback. Next is observation is nothing but job shadowing. Here we can watch the user how they can perform their tasks along with the actual work environment. Next is surveys or questionnaires. So this can be done with a large group of stakeholders. Next, we can focus on the groups like gathering a small group of users so that we can discuss them with the different aspects of the project. Next comes the document analysis. So we can review the existing system documentation as well as the reports along with the business process flows. Next, the use cases. So it describes how we can interact with the users and also the system to define the functionality of the software. Next is the interface analysis. So it is done by comparing the requirements between the existing as well as the new systems. Next is requirement specification. So the requirement specification is usually done using SRS, software requirement specification documentation. So characteristics of good requirements should be like it should be clear, unambiguous, it should be complete, consistent, it should be verifiable as well as it should be traceable. Next is SRS IEEE structure, how the documentation should be. So first we should know some sections like purpose and description, why we are going to build this software and what it is going to do. Next is functional requirements. For example, it indicates the user login, data processing. Next is non-functional requirements. So it mainly focuses on the performance, security, reliability as well as maintainability. Next comes the user interactions, how the user and the other systems they interact with each other. Next comes the external interfaces, how the software it connects with the hardware through the programs and users. Next is the constraints. So the limitations of the systems they can be operated within the within that one. That is, for example, like technology. Next is verification and validation. So verification mainly focus on whether we are building the product right or not. So the activities it may include like conducting the reviews, inspections, walkthroughs, and test checking of documents like designing and coding. So the method here we are following is static testing. That is, we are not going to execute the code. So the main goal is to detect the errors early in documents as well as the designs. Next is the validation. It mainly focus whether we are building the right product, that is whether we are meeting the user needs or not. So the activities here we use are prototyping, user evaluation, functional testing, as well as user acceptance testing. That is, all kind of testing will be done under the validation. Next is the method we are going to follow is dynamic testing. That is, we are going to execute the code. So the main goal of the validation is we are going to confirm whether the end product it can satisfy the customer problem or not. Next is key differences. So the main difference between verification and validation, it focuses on nature and timing. That is, verification is objective and validation is subjective. So if you consider the timing, verification will be done earlier and validation it will happen later. That is on the build product. Ethics in requirements engineering. So let us know about core ethical principles what we are going to follow in requirements engineering. Public interest. That is, mainly we should focus for the public good. That is, our software which we are going to develop, it should not have any societal impact on the public. Next is client and employer. That is, we have to maintain the confidentiality and also have to avoid the conflicts of interest with client as well as the employer. Next comes the product. If you consider the product, we should ensure our software it meets the professional standards for quality along with reliability, safety as well as security. Next one is judgment. That is, we are going to maintain the independence and integrity, and also we should be honest along for the risk as well as the limitations. Next is management. That is, we have to promote the ethical practices within the teams. Next, profession. We should follow the fields integrity with reputation as well as ethical standards. Next is colleagues. We should be fair, supportive along with the colleagues. Next, we have to engage in the continuous learning and ethical growth along with the technology as well as the principles. Next is professional responsibilities. So it includes the honesty and trustworthiness, accountability. That is, we should be responsible for our mistakes. Next comes the privacy. That is, we should protect the sensitive data as well as we have to provide the security for our data. Next is bias mitigation. That is, we have to reduce the bias in algorithms, especially in AI systems. Next, transparency. We should be transparent with our changes as well as risk with the employers. Next is competence. That is, it mainly work within the areas, so we should be it should be competent with the other environment. Common ethical concerns includes data misuse, incomplete disclosure, user manipulation, as well as ignoring the safety requirements. Thank you.